Welcome to the Money Report. I'm David Wogenson alongside Mallory Hoff. On today's show, we'll dive into what pre-retirees need to be thinking about right now.
That's right. Retirement is evolving. The stock market is unpredictable. Inflation is sticking around and healthcare costs are climbing. In just a moment, we'll talk about why retirement expectations are colliding with financial reality. Plus, sending out an SOS. How do you know if your retirement plan needs rescuing? All of this and so much more coming up on the Money Report.
But first, joining us now is Jacksonville's retirement coach, Adam Wolf. Adam is an area certified financial planner with more than 2 decades of financial services experience. He's the president of Wolf Retirement Navigation, a firm that focuses on helping people build smarter plans for a successful retirement. Adam is also a popular podcast host. So many different threats to retirees, their plan, to their wealth. What are the biggest threats that can really ruin someone's retirement?
Yeah, 5 big risks. The first risk is running out of money, not having an income plan in place to lay out how you have your stuff situated to get your income that you need to live off of in retirement. Number 2 is the investment risk that you have. You know, having too much stock market risk when it's not appropriate, or having the right size risk, that's the key there. Number 3, the tax risk. The threat of future tax increases, not just to you, but your family over time. That's going to erode your savings, your assets. In addition to that, your healthcare risk, not only Medicare choices, but also long-term care costs in the future. And then finally, your legacy risk. That's your estate planning and where you want your stuff to go when you're no longer here. Those are the key risks in retirement.
Adam, I want to take a moment now to circle back to item 3 on your list, which was, of course, taxes. In terms of tax strategies, if you're a few years out from retirement, what should be on your radar?
Yeah, it's crucial to have a plan in place to spell that out because everybody's tax situation is unique. A lot of people, when they're working, their final years of working, they're making a lot of income. They're at high tax rates at this point. We have a couple more years until taxes may change with legislative risk up there in Washington, D.C. So taking advantage of lower tax rate environments in retirement and throughout retirement to get the lowest tax bill over time, that's the key.
Yeah.
Adam, I'm going to go here right now. Tax strategies as part of a retirement plan. So many people, we've talked offset before, coming to you for a second opinion, that first appointment, and you look at their plan and they've never had tax planning as part of the discussion with their advisors. Here in Jacksonville, we have a lot of people that come in and try to do this job and bring in people and help retirees because it's a wonderful place to live. But I'm curious what you're seeing and how big a concern it is for these people if they're trying to retire yet have not had the tax discussion with their advisor.
Yeah, few folks are getting that tax advice alongside with the investment advice. They're being told, hey, do it yourself or go talk to a tax advisor or a CPA. We've been doing taxes for the last 25 years. So when it comes down to saving money, $1 saved in taxes is 100% return in my book. So they're either not getting the advice or they're going out to Google or ChatGPT, which can be very, very dangerous, instead of getting the advice for their unique situation, for their unique plan.
Adam, do you think there is a common misconception in this country that tax strategies, tax planning is really just for the super wealthy? If I'm not in that category, what do I really stand to save?
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, because at this point in time, if you're in the 22 or 24% tax bracket, going down to the 12 is going to save a significant amount of money on your income over time. Many people have these tax-deferred retirement plans, which are all well and good, 401ks, IRAs, TSPs. But when that money comes out of that plan, it's taxable income in the year you have it. So if tax rates are higher in the future or you pull money out at a higher rate, that's less in your pocket, less in your plan, and less for your livelihood.
Yeah, no winners right there. So going back to more of these risks in retirement, you think about the stock market. The stock market can give, it can also take away. What do retirees really need to focus in on when it comes to that investment strategy when they enter the retirement red zone?
Yeah, most people have a different amount of risk in their 401ks, their IRAs. That's appropriate when they're working, while they're accumulating their money, while they're growing their money. To get to that point doesn't mean you move from all risk to safe or all risk to low volatility. You have to right size that risk. And everybody's risk is a little bit different, but you have to know what that risk is by knowing what you own and then appropriately right sizing it for the future so you can have a smoother, stable ride in retirement.
How often do you meet people who have a little bit of FOMO, that fear of missing out on potential market gains? They know maybe my portfolio should match my age and stage. It's time to pull back on risk, but they're just not ready yet.
Well, a lot of folks we meet with have been through the dot-com bubble, those 3 years when the
Yeah.
markets lost, the S&P 500 lost over 50%. The 2008, from 2007 to 9, losing over 50% in the S&P, and then a couple years of negative returns. That's etched in their brain so hard that
be.
most people do not want to take a lot of risk in retirement, but it's the right amount of risk. We don't want to go all the way into the bunker. We want to have the right amount of risk, and that's unique to everybody.
Yeah.
So as I said earlier, a lot of advisors we know are not talking about taxes. Also something that's missing from the discussion, fees. What can fees do? How do they factor in as a potential risk to someone's great wealth?
Yeah, fees in 401k plans, or if you have an advisor helping you with it, or mutual fund fees, or variable annuity fees, expenses, there are all kinds of fees out there when it comes to investments. So anything you can do to reduce those fees, whether it's 1/4%, 0.5%, 1%. Now those are percentages, doesn't sound like
Yeah.
a lot, right? But if you have $500,000 and you're able to save 1% a year over 30 years, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket that continue to compound and continue to make money, and then you can use it versus going to either another advisor or a mutual fund company or a 401k company.
Absolutely. A wonderful start to our conversation today. Adam, thank you. And with that in mind, the time to act is now.
I would agree. Today exclusively for our Money Report viewers, Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you. This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your best steps to really get ready for retirement. The number to call, 904-872-6264. That's 904-872-6264.
Is your 401k the closest thing you have to a retirement plan? It's pretty common, but it's not without risk. Adam, what's your take?
Yeah, there can be a lot of risks
Sure.
in 401k plans. It's not a retirement plan, however. It's a bunch of investments that you have with your employers. So what could be the risks? The risk could be, one is excessive fees within that plan, excessive expenses that aren't fully disclosed. So that's number one. Number
Yeah.
two, limited investment options. A lot of plans have limited, maybe 15 to 20 different choices that you can choose, may be or may not be appropriate for that next stage of life, which is the retirement planning stage. Number three could be taxes. And so most 401k plans are tax deferred investments. So meaning when you pull the money out and you pull it out, it's going to be income in the year that you pull it out or take that
Yeah.
distribution. So there also could be Roth or tax-free IRA options within those 401k plans. So not making mistakes when you roll those over or take distributions from them, that's key.
All right, so when it comes to tax strategies and your 401k, I think a lot of people know they need to take this into account, but they're not really sure what their timing should be. When should they begin the conversation about tax planning?
Yeah, sooner rather than later, because it's so important. You want to keep as much of this money in your pocket as possible, not giving it to the IRS, not losing it with fees. So there's different ages. There's a lot of rules that we have to worry about. Age 59 and a half is one of those rules. If you take money prior to that from that plan, unless it's in the form of a loan, you can be penalized. And so there are some ways and some exclusions to get money out of that prior to without that penalty. That's important. Actually past 59 and a half, pulling your money out while you're still working, rolling it into a IRA may be appropriate, or a Roth IRA may be appropriate for you to have multiple options. But the devil's in the details with these things.
Yeah.
If you're paying too much in fees, if you're potentially going to pay too much in taxes, having a plan in place that's going to lay out where this money's going to go when you're ready for it to spend, to use, to replace the wages when you're retired, that's important.
All right, so what I'm hearing from you is you have to know your options. What do you say to the individual or the couple that's procrastinating on this?
Yeah, lots of procrastinators out there, and rightfully so. Everybody's in their lives,
Yes.
Everybody's busy, everybody's working, maybe the kids, the grandkids, but we have to have a plan. You got to do it now. The government, with this latest tax bill that was passed, gave us a couple more years at least. Up in DC, every 2 to 4 years, there's tax risk with legislative risk. So taking advantage of historically low taxes now to make sure you get most that you can get in your pocket and in your assets over time is the key.
Adam, big picture retirement planning, if you will, for a moment. You have been working and rooted in this community for a very long time. I want to speak specifically to when people walk through your doors for the first time who are part of this community, what are their concerns right now in terms of retirement?
Yeah, when we meet with people, a lot of folks have a lot of questions. They've done a lot of the heavy lifting, the saving, and now it's taking what they've saved, coming up with a plan to then enjoy their money, take the stress out of their retirement and be able to relax and do what they want to do with what they have, either retiring at a certain date that they have or retiring early because the numbers look better. We're rooted in this community. I've been here for over 2 decades, and this is where I raised my daughter. This is my home. Northeast Florida is so important to me, and it's a family atmosphere at Wolf Retirement, and based on what we do in the community and how we help people, our clients want to be a part of that, and it's really cool. So.
What is the most pressing question you're getting from new folks that you're meeting with right now?
Yeah, the biggest question we're getting is, will I be able to retire? And if so, what's that retirement gonna look like? So that's where we go and crunch the numbers to make that plan a reality for folks. And that's a lot of times retiring at a certain age that they've designated, or retiring earlier because they have the financial freedom to then exchange what they were doing for work to living off what they've saved, whether it's their IRAs, their 401ks, their pension, their Social Security, to make it last so they don't run out of money. That's the key with how we work with clients.
All right, what I'm hearing is have the conversation, don't wait.
That's it.
Adam, thank you. We appreciate it. Coming up on the Money Report, around and around it goes. Where the retirement conversation stops, nobody knows. We'll spin the wheel of retirement. But first, David will put Adam on the clock.
It's not about taking risk away, it's about right-sizing the risk.
And today, exclusively for our Money Report viewers, Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you. This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 904-872-6264. Once again, that number, 904-872-6264.
Time for the fastest 15 seconds in retirement. It is 15 in 15. 15 topics in 15 seconds for Adam. You know the drill, so here we go. Question number 1. For the person that has a 401k, Adam, do you believe it's necessary to also have an IRA?
Yes, more specifically, a Roth IRA, if they're eligible for that. So if you're putting money into your 401k, most 401k plans are tax deferred. There may be a Roth component there. So you're putting money in, but you can also put money into a Roth IRA. And depending on your savings levels, between $7,000 and $8,000 a year.
Very powerful. Question number 2, for the retiree that is hooked on stocks, whether they're doing well or sinking their portfolio, how do you help wean them off of those when they've won the game in retirement?
Yeah, a lot of folks have a lot of risk, and the risk going while you're working and while you're accumulating money is really good to have because you have time on your side, you have more money on your side. When you get closer to retirement, it's not about taking risk away, it's about right-sizing the risk. You don't have the time and you don't have the money to put back in if you have a major malfunction in the stock market.
Question number 3, a survey found more than 40% of retirement savers do not want help planning. They'll do it themselves or let their spouse handle it. Adam, if they go this route, what do they really need to take into account?
Yeah, a couple things. Will I run out of money? That's number one. The right amount of investment risk for your portfolio overall between you and your spouse. Also, what's the tax bill going to be? Not just this year, but over time. And can you reduce those taxes? How are we going to sign up and what kind of plan are we going to sign up for health care, for Medicare? In addition to that, how do you want to leave your stuff when you're no longer here? Your estate plan, your legacy plan. Those 5 key elements go into a smart retirement plan.
Question number 4, speaking of risk, analysis from a company shows the cost of maintaining your home are most likely to upend your financial plans in retirement, with home expenses contributing to 1/4 of the average American's increased spending during retirement. How do you fight back?
Yeah, a couple things. Prior to retirement, getting as many things done as you can. If you're able to pay off the mortgage, you're able to pay off debt, we want to do that. But in addition to that, budgeting for that in retirement, it has to come into play. It has to be a part of it. And you you have to crunch the numbers because inflation can be there.
That is true. Question number 5, when it comes to taxes and your retirement, why is this so much more than just a yearly deadline conversation?
Yeah, that's looking in the rearview mirror. That's actually doing the tax preparation, which we help our clients with.
Sure.
But more important is the tax planning. And we are in a very historically low tax situation right now at the federal level. Our government's spending more money than they have. They're going to have to raise the rates eventually. They're going to have to raise the taxes eventually. So planning we can do right now to reduce your tax exposure, not just this year, but over time and over your lifetime, that is important.
Yeah, the long game. Question number 6, sending out an SOS. Tough economic factors have impacted retirees and their life savings. So what can be done to rescue their retirement?
Yeah, having a plan in place that takes into account the ups and downs of the economic situation, the markets, not having everything in the stock market, because we've been through those really difficult times with stock markets, but squeezing as much juice from the fruit of your investments, right sizing and tweaking your investments to make sure that they perform as well as they can when things go tough.
And the juice will be worth the squeeze. Question number 7, I doubt you'd buy a car before taking it out for a spin. So Adam, what does test driving your retirement look like?
Prior to retirement, having a plan in place, a written plan in place on paper that goes through different scenarios to make sure that what your goals are in retirement are met, or if they can't be met, tweaking them to have alternative goals that work for you and your family.
I like that right there. What else I like? 7 questions down, 8 to go. Pausing the clock today exclusively for our Money Report viewers. Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you. This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 904-872-6264. Back on the clock we go. Question number 8, for those saving for retirement, if your biggest fear is losing money, what does the conversation look like when it comes to determining your risk level?
First, you have to know what you own, whether it's in your 401ks, your TSPs, your 403bs, your IRAs, the different investments in there, the stocks, the mutual funds, ETFs. You need to know what you own. You need to know how they're allocated to each of the segments of the different stock market, how much you have protected, how much you have that's safe versus what's at risk. You have to know those elements first and then dive into the fee structure.
Knowledge is good. Question number 9, having a clear vision for retirement can make all the difference. So how do you eliminate some of those potential blind spots?
Yeah, that vision has to be on paper. There's multiple risks we have to worry about. The risk of running out of money, solving the risk of investment risk, having too much tax risk, the federal government raising taxes, how you're gonna pay for your healthcare costs, and then where you want your stuff to go, your legacy, your estate plan. If you solve for those, you're gonna have a successful retirement.
AI has become more popular, and according to a survey, 4 out of 10 people believe it can be a useful tool for their finances, but what camp are you in?
Yeah, AI is important, the technology is great, but we have to be careful in how we use it. If we're using it to ask specific questions of your retirement, in general, it's gonna work, but specifics to your unique situation, an advisor like myself can help.
Understood. Question number 11, according to a study, just 1 in 5 retirees have a formal written retirement plan. What challenges have you seen for those that don't have one?
Yeah, it's like going down the road without the GPS or without the map. You know, we used to use the maps, which was great. It's not having a map. It's not having that roadmap in place. And if you have that written plan with things spelled out, all the risks that we face, all those accounted for, and how you're gonna live and what kind of income you're gonna have, if you have that in place, it's going to make a lot of sense.
Well, I can relate. I need that GPS when I'm driving. Question number 12, no one has a crystal ball when it comes to retirement. So what are some things people really need to try and get right the first time to find that potential success?
Yeah, the biggest thing is having a clear vision for what you want to retire to. Because a lot of people think they're retiring from something, which they are, their job. What are we going to retire to? How are we going to spend our day? What's going to be the income source, the assets that are going to need to supplement the income sources to live off your retirement savings in retirement.
I love that. Question number 13, for those that still have lots of bonds in their holdings, what might be a better option for retirees to accomplish their goals?
Bonds are appropriate in a lot of circumstances.
Okay.
And that, you know, when interest rates go up, bond values go down, interest rates go down, bond values go up. So having the appropriate amount of bond exposure and, more importantly, protection within the portfolio is extremely important.
Question number 14. If someone is looking to team up with a financial advisor, does that advisor need to see their entire portfolio?
Yes, to have a holistic view of everything, to go through the major risks that we've spoken about, to have that all the information present to make those informed decisions and recommendations for the client.
Absolutely. And of course, when you have it all under one roof, can make things a lot more efficient for yourself. Final question at 15 and 15. I know you, sir, are a very positive person, but when it comes to building out someone's retirement plan, what determines if it's an optimistic versus a pessimistic approach?
Yeah, having a retirement plan in place that removes as much of the risks as possible to have a less stressful environment in retirement, to enjoy and relax in retirement, that's optimistic.
Essentially making every day a Saturday during your retirement. Adam Wolf, 15 questions up, 15 questions down. You were off the clock, my friend. Excellent work. Today, exclusively for our Money Report viewers, Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you. This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and then discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. You can call this a game plan to get you where you need to be. The number to call right now, it's 904-872-6264. Once again, that phone number, 904-872-6264.
For too many people today, retirement feels like spinning a wheel. You don't know if you'll land on security or stress. The goal, of course, is to take the guesswork out of the equation and to build a plan that actually works no matter where the economy, the stock market, or taxes may land. Adam, with all of that in mind, let's have you roll up your sleeves a little bit and spin our wheel of retirement today. Okay, so whatever we land on, I want to hear perhaps questions you get about that topic and your answer.
Great.
We're going to begin with, let's see here. Okay, 401k, a lot of folks depending heavily on their 401k.
Yes, a 401k is not a plan. It is a bunch of statements with a bunch of investments. There's not a retirement plan. It's where you save your money while you're working to accumulate a nest egg to then use to replace your income while you're in retirement. So we have to be careful of all the rules. We have to be careful of the fees. We have to be careful what investment options or limited investment options are within those 401ks, and then how it's taxed. Is it taxable income on the way out, or is it tax-free income on the way out? Having those answers is extremely important.
A 401k in itself is not a plan for retirement. Let's have you spin again. All right, where will the wheel of retirement take us now? All right, everyone's favorite uncle. What do we need to know about our dear Uncle Sam, Adam?
On the tax side, it's not
Yes.
my favorite
Not
uncle.
at
I
all.
don't like legally paying one more dollar than we actually need to the government. So anything you can do to reduce that and eliminate that tax bill going forward while you're in retirement, it's the #1 expense for most people, that federal tax bill. So we are in a historically low tax environment right now. Taxes with the latest bill, we've bought another couple of years until the legislative risk in DC goes up. We have to pay this debt down. We have to pay these government bills. Taxes must go up to pay for it. Having a plan in place that eliminates as many of those taxes as possible for the future over your lifetime is extremely important.
All right, I'm hearing act now and know your options. Okay, let's have you spin again. All right, and this time we have landed on vacations. Okay, a retirement dream for so many. A lot of folks want to take the grandkids to Disney World. Others want to cruise around the world. How do you know if you can actually take that dream vacation?
Yeah, we have to crunch the numbers. A lot of folks that are nearing retirement may want to take that vacation sooner rather than later while they're still working, and having that place and that budget to do that is extremely important. And then I tell my clients, do it as soon as you can. We are not guaranteed health. We are not guaranteed longevity. We need to take and do whatever we want to have done as soon as we can, whether it's trips around the United States, local trips in Florida, Northeast Florida, going overseas, doing everything that you have put down on your goals as soon as you can. And if the money makes sense, to go ahead and do it.
Any trends you're seeing right now with vacations? Where do people want to go?
People want to just leave and just have some weeks off and go to different spots. And, folks are really big on the Viking River cruises now.
Okay.
A lot of the Caribbean cruises. I have some great cruisers. So if you need any information about cruises, let us know. We can get you in touch with those folks. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have the freedom, flexibility, not have to clock in on Monday, to be able to go do what you want to do.
Absolutely. You know your stuff. All right, let's have you spin again. The last spin on the wheel of retirement, and this time we will land on, all right, here we go. Life insurance. This is a tough conversation to have, but it's an important one to have sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah, and we're working with folks who are getting ready to retire. So a lot of times, big question we get, do I need life insurance?
Yeah.
And for the most part, people do not need life insurance because you were trying to replace an income while you were working. Now you've built your assets, you have your Social Security, you may have a pension. That is the replacement. So most people do not need to pay a premium for life insurance in retirement, but there are special cases where life insurance can give you living benefits while you're alive for long-term care, chronic illnesses, things along those lines. So if you have an older policy, you want to get it looked at to see if it's at the most efficient for your specific situation now, not when you got it 10 or 20 years ago.
That's right. Policies have changed a lot over the years. As with all of this, got to stay up to date. Adam, thank you. And if you want to learn more about the topics we landed on today, exclusively for our Money Report viewers, Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you. This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 904-872-6264. Once again, that number, 904-872-6264.
We started today talking about the biggest risks in retirement. Adam, I want to leave on a very positive note. When it comes to tax planning, what type of savings can people potentially be looking at over the course of their retirement?
Yeah, retirement's lasting 20, 30, 40 years with smart strategies that we do for our clients every day, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime.
And Adam, with all of that in mind, you have something for our viewers at home.
And yes, I do. For the first 5 callers that have saved $500,000 or more for retirement, please give our team a call and we'll put together your very own Retire Smart plan. And we'll do this on a complimentary basis.
A very generous offer, Adam. Thank you so much. So today, exclusively for our Money Report viewers, Adam has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary Retire Smart plan just for you.
This will allow Adam and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 904-872-6264. Once again, that number, 904-872-6264.
And from all of us here at the Money Report, thank you for watching. We'll see you back here next time.